How to invest your money for early retirement. And this is so crucial to you because your money is important. Your money dictates how your life is lived later on in your later days. We as humans, we are, everybody's got to work. We have to work. And so we work and work and work and work. We start working in our 20s. Some even start even younger, in their teens, just because everybody's circumstances is different. So you've started working, you've been working in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s, even. And my goal with this video is to help you see a better path out such that, you are not consistently working for the rest of your life until you die. And I just don't want that for any human being. I want you to live your most fulfilled, abundant life. And the only way to do that is to actually take care of your finances, to take care of your money, to take care of your wealth. And to do that, you have to start investing and you have to start even thinking about that. So in this video, I will teach you, or I will show you some frameworks that I've learned from being part of a trading organization, a trading firm, as a trader as well. Again, these are a lot easier for me because I'm a trader and I'm a professional trader, and then these just exemplify like the whole trading knowledge and the trading experience then comes into the investing world, and then it becomes a lot easier. But I want to break it down for you as simply as possible and make it as easy as the dummy person to kind of get it in their head and like kind of even start thinking about it. So let's just get right into it. And the first thing you need to do is start a brokerage account. I will keep this video extremely bare bones, extremely direct to the point, exactly executionable steps. So watch this video all the way through so that you don't miss any steps and any ideas and how to think about how to start your investment account, retirement account. All right. So step number one, I have my whiteboard here and you'll see it on the screen. Okay, so step number one is you need to start a brokerage account. And the one I recommend is Interactive Brokers. So, Interactive Brokers. There are many brokers, but this is the largest one. And IBKR is their web app. So, just YouTube this, Google this. So, Interactive Brokers is the broker I recommend you to put your money into. So just start this account. They will have a bunch of questions for you. They will need verifications and all this stuff. So step number one, if anything, you can literally pause this video right here, right now, and just go to Google, make your Interactive Broker account if you don't already have one. All right. The whole point of this is to get power in your hands. Everybody, I think you have the 401ks, you have in Hong Kong, we have the MPF. So whenever you get a job and then you get a salary from the job, uh, some of that salary is put into a different account, which is an investment account, which just goes to these insurance companies like Manulife or, you know, what are these, AIA and stuff like that, where they do the investments on your behalf. My thing is, why can't you do that for yourself? It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. If you just knew about it, if you just understood it, and actually put a little tiny little bit of time into it, right? So Interactive Brokers, go and download that and go and make that account and set up your account, give your verifications, give your ID, give your bank codes and bank account links, get all that done so you can transfer funds. Step number two, you have to start building the habit of investing. And I don't care where you are in your life, like what age you are, whether you are, you know, in your early 20s or you are in your 50s. Obviously it's very different for both these age groups. The person in their 20s has a huge advantage when it comes to like investing and growing their wealth over time because they have time. The whole point of investing is time. Like time is the component that really helps you generate wealth, because as long as you got time in the markets, your money will grow. And so for somebody who is, in their 50s, it is a little bit, you are a little bit late. There's no like sugarcoating this. It is a little bit late. You just You will have to have a different approach slightly. But again, this is a YouTube video, so I can't go into specifics, and I'm not a financial advisor. So just take everything with a grain of salt. This is not specific advice for you. Um, and I'm just giving you my experience and my knowledge working with some of the top traders and investors in the world, and like absorbing their experience and their knowledge and how they work and how they function and how they think. So take everything with a grain of salt, and this is gonna be more overall holistic and helping you think about things. So you need to start building the habit of investing. One thing I want to do a caveat is that there is no better investment than the investment in yourself. So the biggest asset is you. You are your biggest asset, because you, and how strong you are, how capable you are, how developed you are, how experienced you are, how knowledgeable you are, will dictate the results you get in your life in terms of wealth, in terms of health, in terms of relationships. How emotionally intelligent can you become? How socially adept are you? How well can you function in society? That's a development process of the human, and that's what I do in my coaching business and with my clients. I help them perform at the highest level possible as their human potential. I help you, shift your identity into the person that you want to become, the person you need to become to get the results you want, your ideal desired lifestyle. And that's all I really care about, helping you achieve your highest potential and your optimal lifestyle, the one that you want, the one that God designed for you, that, the dreams and visions you have. That's what I want for you, to achieve those dreams and visions. All right. So outside the habit of investing, now we actually have to get into how to do that. How do you invest? So now you have the IBKR account set up, right? You have this broker account. So let's say you got a salary, or you got, income from, maybe you're a business owner, or, whatever it is, maybe you are in sales, so you got some commission, right? Whatever it is, you got these things. And let's say, for example's sake, you make, $5,000 in 1 month. That's your income. That's the inflow into your bank account. So this money goes into your bank, and then, we all have expenses. We all have a life, and we have all these things. So let's say, your expense is $4,900 is your expense. You got to pay your kids tuition fees, and you got to pay your rent and mortgage and everything else. um, the general public is actually in debt. So if you make 5K, what the common thing is your expense is probably 6K, 7K, 10K. And first and foremost, you are going to have to eliminate that. You will have to start figuring out ways to, like, really cut that out, in terms of, if you are in that situation where you're actually inflowing less and outflowing more, then you have to figure out how to increase the income. Again, you learn new skills, start a business, whatever it is, whatever you have to do to get more income. And then on the other side, whatever you have to do to decrease your expense. So, maybe you are a smoker, so quit smoking. No smoking. Maybe you really love smoking weed a lot. It's gonna be hard, and you don't want to do this, but maybe start cutting that down, because that chips away from your income. Maybe you love shopping. Why? What's the point of shopping? Like, obviously we get so much dopamine from all these vices we have. Maybe you love alcohol. Maybe you love partying on the weekends. Like, whatever it is, whatever your vice is, like, you are going to have to start being very conscious and cutting that away, because you have to start saying that I actually care about my life. I want to live my greatest, best life, and I am done and sick and tired of living this short term gratification life. You know, maybe, you watch a lot of um, porn, but let me call it corn. I don't know why everybody online calls it corn, so let's call it corn. Maybe you watch a lot of corn, maybe you pay OnlyFans or something. Whatever it is, you're gonna have to cut all this stuff out, and it's a very hard pill to swallow. And I have to do these things myself. I've had to do these things for my own personal gain of like, this is what I really want in my life. And so, what is not serving me? What's these things that's not helping me achieve that? Again, this is what I do with my coaching business and helping clients, really overcome all these addictions and vices, and rewiring subconscious programming and manifesting the actual life that you want. So, link in the description if you really want to see how we can work together. Uh, but coming back to this, once you've done that, once you've got the IBKR set up, once you've got the brokerage set up where you can actually start investing, once you got um, some income saved, so it doesn't have to be a lot, even if you've got $50 left over, forget it. Let's not even say $50. Let's even say if you've got $1 left over at the end of the month, at the end of the year, whatever it is, you got $1 left over. You have to move that money into IBKR. And ideally, you have an automated system set up, automated, right? Automated banking transfer kind of thing, where the moment you got money in your account, or every single month there's like a recurring thing, you can make a recurring thing like, recurring every month, put $1.50 into IBKR. You can set these up so that because we humans lack so much self-control and discipline, you could literally set it up where every single month, without you even clicking a button or doing anything, there's an automated direct transfer into your IBKR account. So even if you don't know anything about investing and trading and stuff, at least that there is money that is going into your IBKR, into your broker, and that is helping you put money aside, because you need money to grow money. Money grows like a tree. You need to plant the seed for the seed to grow. And the seed won't just grow into a massive tree in a few hours or even in a day. It's going to take time. It's going to take even decades. Frankly, it's going to take decades, right? So that's why it's a little bit difficult for somebody who's in the later age. That's more technical. That's getting into a lot more detail in terms of like, how can we strategize for you and how to start developing your portfolio style. But that's out of the scope of this video, where I won't be going so much in depth of like specifics in terms of how to develop portfolios, right? But let's say you got now money going in, right? So you've got the IBKR set up, you've got money going into this every single month, no matter how little is it. I don't care how little it is. And I know when you have $1, $50, $100, the growth might not seem like a lot, and that might discourage you to like, oh, what's the point putting money into the account? Like, let me just go buy some Nike shoes or buy some clothes. Like, that feels better. Like, this money is not gonna make me any money anyways. That's the mistake and the mindset I had for a long time too, and that prevented me from investing for a very long time. And you don't want that, right? You just want to build a habit. So putting money into this is a habit. That's literally the moneymaker here. The habit is the moneymaker, because the longer you do it, the more it becomes ingrained in you, and the more it just becomes part of who you are, and the easier it becomes, right? So once you've done that, money keeps going into this. Now comes the investment bit, the more fun bit. And this bit is more like give your investment account a name. You can have multiple investment accounts. So let's say you are a mom and you got kids, and you love your kids so much, and you really care for their future and stuff. So what you can do is you can say, this is my kids college fund. I don't know if that's how you spell college. My bad. But this is my kids college fund. So that's what you call that. And then you make another fund. This is my travel fund, for whoever, not just the mom watching, the husband, the single person, the person that wants to travel. How about even a mm, what fund? What other fund can you have? What other you want to have a? Let's see here. Let's see here. Shopping fund. So you see how interesting this is? You are not going to go shopping with the income you make. Instead, you are going to invest the money into these funds that you're creating. You're creating all these different funds for yourself, managing your money and finance, because it's so crucial to manage your money and know how to do that, right? If you hire a wealth manager or an investment banker or somebody to do this for you, they're going to charge you a price for that. What if you could just do it for yourself and get to keep all the money? And it's not that hard, it's not all that much work. If you could just do this and you could just use simple frameworks that you set for yourself, it will change your life drastically, right? So let's say you have a shopping fund, right? What that basically means is whatever thing you want to buy a PS5, for example. This is You could have a PS5 fund. You want to buy a PS5, but the only way for you to buy that PS5 is once the fund is big enough that it can afford the PS5. So you don't just, let's say you have $1,000, and maybe the PS5 costs $1,000. I don't know how much it costs, but for example's sake, the the PS5 costs $1,000. You really want it, and I know you want it now, and it's so much easier to just go and buy the PS5 now. Like, I know, but if you have the courage, the discipline to say no, I'm gonna, you know, chip away and I'm gonna put the $50, the $100 into my kids' college fund. I'm gonna put $10 into my travel fund. I'm gonna put $20 into my shopping fund. I'm gonna put $5 into my PS5 fund, and then I'm going to allocate the money and invest them into different assets and stocks and stuff and ETFs and all these different vehicles that I'll mention later. But you can start doing these investments. I promise you that fund will grow. Every month you're making income and you're putting aside, and that will be so much better for you because now you've not bought these things. You're not spending money on your shopping, on your PS5, on your travel, on your kid college fund with money that is earned. You had to spend your time. Like, there's nothing more valuable than your time. And all of us, we spend time. We, give up our time, which is the most valuable thing you have, your time, in exchange for money. But you have to flip this around, and only you can do this. Nobody can do this for you. You have to flip it around and say, okay, now I've got to start making my money, whoopsies, work for me. The money has to start working for you. It is the only way you will ever break out of this grinding, working 9 to 5 slavery cycle situation. That's the only way you will do that, right? You have to get your money to start working for you. And you are such a hardworking person. I know how hardworking you are. And so just as hard as you work for your money, you have to start making your money work just as hard for you. Hard working money. The money is hard working for you. Okay? Oopsie. Money. The money really has to be working hard for you. I really want money to work hard for you. I really do. And, all it takes is just move the money into the investment account. And name these accounts. Don't just call it an investment account, because this is a psychological thing. Um, One of the reasons why a lot of traders fail and people can't really invest their money well, it's because this whole money game is a very psychological game. So the number one reason people fail is because psychologically they're not trained. It is You have higher chances of becoming a brain surgeon than becoming a trader. That's one of the reasons why so many traders fail, because they've just not worked on their psychology enough, right? But this is not a trading topic. This is more of an investing topic that we're talking about right now. So really start naming these funds. This is my PS5 fund. This is my college fund. And one book I want to mention is, I think it's The Psychology of Money. That's a really good book. Go look it up. Go read it as well. I think that was a pretty good book. That's where I think I picked up this notion of like naming your funds, what your fund is, and you name it. So let's say you have this PS5 fund. Now, to get that PS5, you're going to have to start investing in that fund. And then until that fund grows to a level that it can afford that PS5, then you can withdraw the money and then buy your PS5. And the beauty of that is you did not spend earned money, but you put your money into the investment account, into the PS5 fund account, and you invested that money into different assets and different stocks and stuff. And then those grew over time. And then once they grew, that money worked hard on itself. The money produced babies, and that babies is what you are using to buy your PS5. Not the money you worked hard for, because that money is still working hard for you when it's getting older and older. And every month you're gonna put in, let's say, $50, $50, $50. So let's say month one, you put in $50 inside this PS5 fund, for example, right? And then you invest it into some ETFs and whatever it is. And then by month two, month two, this $50 has become maybe $52, right? Now, plus that with, you are adding another 50 from this month's paycheck. Now you officially have $102 working for you. Now you are buying more assets with the $50 that you put in, and more, stocks and stuff. So now month three, now in the second month already, you have $102 working for you. $100 that you hard earned money worked for and put in, $2 that was produced out of like thin air almost. Like, it's the babies of your money, right? And so month three, now you have $102. Not even 102, probably you have more, because now the money's working for you. Month three, probably you have $107, for example, because that money grew. And you might think, oh man, I'm 3 months into this and I've only made $7. This is terrible. No, look at that. You made $7 doing nothing but just being conscious and mindful about thinking about this and putting some money aside, right? And then now you put $50 again. Now you've got, 100 and what is it? You've got like $157 in month three. Now in month four, you've got so much more money working for you, right? In month four, you've got like $157, not even 157, probably 169 by now, right? Plus $50 again. And you see how it keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. Obviously, this is a very simple example. If you make this into tens of thousands of dollars that you can invest, or thousands of dollars every single month, this number becomes a lot bigger, and the speed of returns, monetary returns, becomes a lot more, right? Again, your situation is so unique. This is a YouTube video. This is so generic. I can't give you very specific advice, but this is a holistic picture here, right? This is how I want you to start thinking about this. Okay, so what are all the steps so far that we have done? We've got the broker. We set that up. We've got the money going into the account every single day, into the broker every single month, right? We've named our funds. We got the PS5 fund, right? And then now the next step becomes, like, okay, what do I invest? What to invest in? How to invest? and you know how to invest and when to invest. I think these are the common questions. And you're going to need some very simple frameworks for this, and you're going to need some, very easy tools. This is where a lot of my trading knowledge comes in, where you can really, instead of blindly, that's one of the advice, so one of the most simple advice that everybody will give you, and you probably already know, but my intention is to level up from that and take you to that next level. Instead of giving you very, cookie cutter generic advice, everybody will tell you put it in the SPX, SPY or SPX 500. That's what they call it, S&P 500, right? And then you just dollar cost average. That's what's everybody's doing. That's what everybody's told. Dollar cost average every single month. Just put it into the SPX, S&P 500, and that's great. It works for a lot of people, and it's awesome. But if you have the trading knowledge and experience that I do, then you know that there are far better ways to like really catapult that. Instead of just getting an SPX return, you can get far better returns if you just had a little bit more knowledge and understanding and experience on how to do this. And I'm here to do that for you. I'm here to give that to you. Uh, if anything, so far, with what I've told you so far, if you stop here and you got no further knowledge, do this. Put it in the SPX. Put the money in the SPX. Just invest in it and just keep dollar cost averaging and just growing that way. But we want to do things better. We want to do things a lot better than this. All right. So, how do we do things a lot better than this? We need to start really looking at different stocks and investments. All right. So, first of all, your portfolio is like this little, let's call this whole circle is your portfolio. And what you have to do is slice it up. This is your pie, right? So, this is your pie. You've got different parts of the pie. Like, for example, let's say you invest 20% into gold. And again, you're going to have to set this up. You can use ChatGPT or some sort of AI to really help you figure out your goals and what your intentions are and what you want to achieve and in how long you want to achieve that goal, and what it's going to take to achieve that goal. Okay? So, in the case of the PS5 fund, let's say we are having a PS5 fund and we got $100 inside this PS5 fund. So this whole circle is $100 worth. 20% is going to go into gold. That means $20 is going to go into gold. So what you're going to do is every single time you're putting money into this account, $20 or 20% of that account, whatever the circle is, whatever how big the pie is, 20% of that pie is allocated into gold. So you go into your IBKR, and again, this is a lot of technical stuff, and I'm not going into depth in how to actually click buttons and buy and sell and stuff. But you're going to put $20 out of that $100 pie you have now in your fund into gold. That's what we decided. Again, this is very generic advice, and I'm just kind of giving you an example of how to think, right? Um, you're going to put $20 into gold. You're going to put maybe, another, I don't know, 20%. Again, these ratios are all messed up, so don't follow the ratios here. Maybe into crypto, for example. You're going to buy, some tech stocks with, let's say, 30% of the rest of the money in the US equities, for example. So now you got 30, you got 20, you got 20. So you got 70% of your portfolio kind of allocated into these things. And then you might say, the rest of that 30% remaining, I'm just going to keep it in cash. So you won't touch that. That's just going to be $30 of cash in your account. So that when a really good opportunity or something ripe really presents itself, something really attractive, something you really want to invest in, you can use that 30% as liquidity and invest that. Or you could say, you know what, I'm just going to have the whole asset, whole investment, whole fund invested into something so that it's consistently working for me. Again, one of the key things we have as traders is cash is a position. So we as traders know that cash is a position as well, because That's the whole name of the game. Let's say the 2008 housing crisis or COVID suddenly hits, something, unpredictable happens, and then, you know, that's the best time to be buying stuff because things are cheap, but you don't have cash for it. And that's why so many of us fail as investors, because we just don't have the cash to invest. You need to be preparing for these moments, and so it's good to have some cash. Um, and so, maybe let's say you put some into utilities, stocks. Maybe you put like 5% into that, right? You put some into real estate. You call these REITs. So this is like real estate. You put, you know, let's say you put, I don't know, 10% into real estate. See, now you have this kind of diversified portfolio, and this is working for you. Every single month, you're going to put that $50 into this account, and you're going to already know like 20% is gold, this much is crypto, this much is tech, this much is utilities, this much is real estate. And your account's going to keep growing and growing and growing. Trust me, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing as long as you've made some wise investment decisions. And it's not that complicated. You could just literally even close your eyes and just throw something as at something half decent, and it should be growing naturally. Most probably, it will be growing. And you just want to manage this fund. Basically, your fund will grow and grow and grow, and then there will come times where, let's say, for example, right now the tech is booming. As I'm recording this, tech is hot. It is carrying the entire US market right now, right? So let's say you had invested and you started this account last month and you made this portfolio designs this way. um, Now tech is booming, and let's say, something, maybe gold is going down a little bit, crypto went up a little bit for you, and utilities kind of stayed flat, but tech really boomed. So because tech boomed so much for you, this portion of your portfolio has become bigger. The pie has become bigger. Okay? So what you want to do is take some money out of tech. Like, let's say now you're going to put um, $50 into it. You don't want to put 20% into gold, 20% into crypto, 30% into tech, 5 into utilities, and 10 into stocks. Because now tech has already absorbed a larger portion of the pie. You want to readjust the whole portfolio such that it stays at 20% gold, 20% crypto, 30% tech, 5% utilities, 10% stocks. So let's say in this case, tech has now risen from 30% to now becoming 40%. So tech is now much bigger because that tech sector grew so much, and now it's taking up 40% of your entire portfolio. But what you had designed from the get-go was that it's going to take up 30% of your portfolio. Now your fund is bigger, your pie is bigger. What you want to do is now that new $50 coming in, put that into gold and crypto and utilities and real estate, such that those are now getting closer to that 20% of the overall fund. I hope this makes sense. Uh, and then, you know what? This is it. This is basically the game. If you can do this and you can build this habit starting today and after watching this video, I hope you already made your broker account already, because this is literally your kids' college fees, your travel fund, your PS5 fund, your shopping fund, your break out of the 9 to 5 grind fund, your break out of slavery fund, your retirement fund, your live your life on your own terms fund. This is what that is. And you can have that life if you really just put your mind into it. I think this video is getting long, and I'm kind of having such a dry throat now, and this is such a big, vast topic, but I hope this video can really give you a big picture view on like how to start thinking. And it's not that complicated. It's not that hard, I promise you. This is just such gatekept knowledge and information, and I'm sick and tired of this information being gatekept. All these insurance companies and MPFs and 401s and like you gotta start understanding how to work these things so that you can really take advantage of the economy and capitalism at large, because it's there for you, right? um, Check out the link in the description if you want to book a one-on-one call with me. I work on subconscious beliefs, I work on rewiring, I work on, even if you want to work on your portfolio and design your portfolio, I work on that. You want to build a trading business and your trading plan, we can work on that. I help traders and investors really achieve the highest life possible, and to do that it's really a holistic approach where I really have to work on your performance, I have to work on your identity, I have to work on your belief systems, such that you're completely a whole new version of yourself, such that you are unrecognizable to even yourself, your loved ones, and you live a truly fulfilled life. And when you're 80, 90, 100 years old on your deathbed, you have zero regrets, because you know you lived it up, baby. You lived your absolute best life. You achieved your highest potential as a human being. That's what I help you as a coach to achieve. And yeah, just hit that like and subscribe button. Go follow me on Instagram. Links in the description as well. I post daily stories. I post reels as well. But I share my life day to day on my stories. I'm posting like 20, 50 stories a day. So go check it out. Hit me a DM. Let's chat. Um, and I appreciate you for watching this video. Really hit the like button, subscribe if you want to keep in touch and stay in tune for the next videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.